If we roll the clock back 13,000 years and you find yourself in a face-off with this formidable beast, good night. The American lion was a giant Pantherian cat that roamed the lands of North America during the Pleistocene epoch. The species earned its scientific name, Panthera Atrox, with the Latin word atrox meaning savage or cruel. And believe me when I say that name perfectly portrays its scary, predatory nature. These powerful cats can grow to twice the height of a person, and some can even weigh as much as a full-grown brown bear. You know what that makes them, the second largest land predator. Besides their size, lions are admired for their elegance and cleverness, which have helped them thrive in the open grasslands. And yet, none of them compare to how intelligent and majestic the American lion was. It was not only bigger than today's lions, but also the largest feline predator ever known to exist. Now, here's what I mean when I call it majestic. It measured up to 2.5 meters, 8 feet 2 inches from nose to tail base, and stood around 1.2 meters, 3.9 feet tall at the shoulder. But you're not ready for this next detail. They could stretch up to 12 feet tall on their hind legs. Man, that is massive. It's around the same size as an African elephant. However, just like their African relatives, these lions showed some big differences between males and females. The males were heavyweights, weighing around 523 kilograms, 1,153 pounds, and to put it into perspective, that means they could outweigh 8 adult humans. The ladies were a bit lighter though, weighing about 365 kilograms, 805 pounds, not exactly your average kittens. Now, let's talk bones. The American lion had some seriously sturdy limb bones, beefier even than those of African lions, more like what you'd find in a brown bear. Thanks to a bunch of fossils that were discovered at the Brea Tar Pits in Los Angeles, scientists have gotten a good handle on what these lions were all about. They were kind of like modern lions, but bigger, sort of like their cousins, the Eurasian cave lions, and the Nato Demiri lion from back in the day in Eastern Africa. Some skin remains have also been found in caves down in the Argentine Patagonia, suggesting that the American lion had a reddish coat, and cave paintings found in the Santa Cruz province of Argentina back that up. They actually show the lion with a similar reddish color. This helps tell them apart from other big predators like jaguars, which were painted with more of a yellowish hue in similar cave art. But just like the dire wolf, it turns out that the American lion wasn't actually a lion. Recent research has revealed that despite many similarities, these two cats are too different to belong to the same species. The American lion had a sturdy build, lacked a developed mane, had proportionally longer legs, and a uniquely shaped skull. While it still fell under the Panthera genus, its scientific name became Panthera Atrox, acknowledging its ferocious demeanor and size. Some studies even questioned its closest relative, suggesting it might be the tiger or jaguar. However, DNA sequencing confirmed that the lion is indeed its closest kin. We'll dive deeper into this later on in the video. As for now, there's one question that comes to mind. Why was it so big? Well, somewhere along the way, the American lion not only became its own distinct species, but also grew astonishingly large. Paleontologists estimate that, on average, an adult American lion was about 25% larger than an African lion, but some individuals surpassed even this size. This considerable size difference was due to high sexual dimorphism and variability in size within the species. In fact, some exceptionally large specimens discovered in 2012 suggest that American lions could reach sizes surpassing even their closest rivals, the Smilodon and Panthera fossils. While their impressive size made them one of the most formidable predators of their time, I gotta tell you, it didn't slow them down at all. Yep, despite their mammoth bodies, they were surprisingly fast. Their sturdy bones and long legs enabled them to maintain speeds of over 30 miles per hour, 48 kilometers, which is faster than any human runner and comparable to a warthog speed. Now you're probably thinking, this agility must have made them insanely good hunters. Well, they did pose a threat to all those who shared their habitat, but they didn't exactly play the cat and mouse game. The truth is, despite their speed, it's believed that the American lion primarily hunted using ambush tactics. rather than chasing prey over long distances. During these ambushes, they would use their retractable claws and powerful bite to take down unsuspecting targets. This method is supported by evidence from recovered specimens, such as Blue Babe, a frozen steppe bison, which show deep claw wounds and bite marks matching those of an American lion. So it's settled. These ambush predators relied on surprise and precision to capture their prey effectively. Now, what happened to the prey once it got captured? Well, this is where the bite force of the American lion comes into play. It's anyone's guess that it was particularly fierce, thanks to its exceptionally powerful jaws. Also, its thickly built skull allowed it to sink its 4-inch, 10-centimeter long canines into prey with a force of 1,800 pounds per square inch. This made its bite nearly 3 times more powerful than that of a modern lion, and 6 times stronger than that of a smilodon, which had relatively weaker bite force due to its saber teeth. With all of this amazing strength, the American lion could easily immobilize and subdue its prey. Like other modern cats, this one also had conical-shaped teeth. Its upper canines were round and formed a slightly curved cone when seen from the side. They fit neatly behind the lower canines, rather than sticking out of its closed mouth. And hey, those teeth were exclusively used for consuming meat. Male American lions had canines that were about 20% larger than those of females, and the power of their bite was mainly focused at these larger canines. The now extinct American lion also appears to have been quite intelligent. We know this because of its large brain case and the fact that many living species of Panthera are pretty famous for their intelligence. On top of that, evidence of its intellect can be indirectly observed through ancient tar traps found throughout the United States. These traps ensnared herbivores for thousands of years during the Pleistocene era, serving as a learning tool for predators. Interestingly, despite being one of the most common carnivores of its time, the American lion was rarely found in these traps. In contrast, competing predators like the direwolf and smilodon were pretty abundant in these areas. This leads paleontologists to believe that the American lion had heightened intelligence, which must have allowed it to better avoid such traps. In addition to its intelligence, the American lion is believed to have possessed other useful traits shared with its modern relatives, including remarkable vision, smell, and hearing. Paleontologists suggest that its hearing was acute enough to detect sounds coming from well over a mile, 1.6 kilometers away, and its sense of smell may have been even more impressive. It's believed that it could probably detect the scent of prey from multiple miles or kilometers away. These heightened senses obviously made locating prey and navigating its environment a piece of cake for this beast. But then again, it's never really that easy in the jungle, is it? So, what kind of prey did it go after? With its impressive traits and massive size, the American lion was capable of hunting a wide range of prey. Its known targets include deer, horses, camels, tapirs, peccaries, rodents, and steppe bison. Among these, the steppe bison appears to have been a favorite on the menu. We know this through evidence of multiple American lion attacks on them, documented through various specimens. This diverse diet clearly shows the American lion's adaptability and effectiveness as a hunter in its ancient ecosystem. It also had a knack for hunting particularly young, large megafauna, and this liking extended to other herbivores too, like the American mastodon. Paleontologists believe that along with competitors such as wolves, direwolves, and saber-toothed cats, the American lion posed a serious threat to megafauna populations. In fact, these predators were responsible for up to 17% of all deaths among juvenile megafauna. Their success in hunting these young individuals likely had significant impacts on the dynamics and survival of megafauna populations during that time. It may have also preyed on the giant Columbian mammoth that lived alongside it. However, it's unclear whether it targeted adults or just subadults. This depended on whether it lived in prides or not. Currently, there's no conclusive evidence suggesting it lived in prides. Some argue its large size implies it was a lone hunter, while others believe its nearest living relative, which lives in prides, suggests it did too. If it did live in prides, it would have had a decent chance of bringing down mature mammoths. But even if it was a solitary creature, it still posed a threat to mammoth populations. According to one study, young mammoths experienced a stage where they were small enough for American lions to take down. yet mature enough to wander away from their mothers to forage. Hence, paleontologists believe many mammoths fell victim to American lions during this stage between 2 and 9 years old, when they would have weighed a maximum of 2 tons. But then again, this window of opportunity for felines was crucial for their survival and hunting success. Now, the American lion's hunting range and habitat were very vast. That was the case because it could easily adapt to various environments. In fact, no other mammal, except for humans, has had such a wide geographical distribution as the extinct lions in the Panthera lineage. It inhabited most of the United States, parts of Canada and Mexico during the Middle and Late Pleistocene periods, with its oldest fossils dating back 340,000 years. Interestingly, it seemed to prefer expansive plains and savannas, avoiding dense forests found in eastern Canada and northeastern United States. These plains and savannas often experienced harsh cold weather, especially during the last glacial maximum between 20,000 to 26,000 years ago. It's believed that the American lions sought shelter in caves during these cold spells and may have lined their dens with grass and leaves. This is a behavior similar to that of the living Siberian tiger, and this adaptability to diverse environments contributed to the American lion's success as a hunter and survivor in its time. Despite the chilly environment it inhabited, the habitat of the American lion teemed with life. It coexisted alongside many iconic Ice Age animals, including mammoths, mastodons, cougars, coyotes, black bears, jaguars, short-faced bears, pronghorns, wood bison, longhorn bison, ground sloths, giant beavers, moose, mountain goats, voles, and even glyptodon. Yeah, I think that's enough names before you start to doze off. Anyway, this diverse ecosystem shaped the interactions and survival strategies of the formidable American lion. Moreover, since it was still around 20,000 years ago, it coexisted with humans too, and they may have been one of its primary threats. This idea comes from the discovery of trash heaps containing American lion bones, found alongside Paleolithic human artifacts. This finding has led some to believe that humans were a contributing factor in the American lion's eventual extinction. But this most likely went both ways, because it's believed that it delayed the migration of human beings across the Bering Sea, because it hunted us. Some really well-preserved specimens of the American lion also revealed insights into its fur. Apparently, it had 2 distinct layers of fur, an outer layer made of guard hairs and a dense undercoat. This dual-layered fur not only provided protection from the cold, but also gave the American lion a reddish appearance that we mentioned earlier. Now, the DNA data extracted from fossil remains is a pretty solid indicator of the American lion's family tree. It turns out that this magnificent beast is closely related to its Eurasian cousin, the cave lion. The story goes back about 340,000 years ago, when a group of cave lions found themselves stranded south of the North American ice sheet, likely due to geographical isolation. According to estimates, the common ancestor of the American lion lineage lived around 200,000 years ago, suggesting that it split off from the cave lion before the Illinoisan glaciation period kicked in. While the cave lion population made its way to eastern Beringia, the American lion remained separate. This way, it maintained its genetic identity throughout various climate shifts, including the Illinoisan and Wisconsin glaciations, as well as the Sangamoan interglacial periods. Interestingly, during the warmer periods, dense boreal forests might have acted as barriers, further isolating the American lion population. Alternatively, there might have been reproductive barriers that prevented interbreeding between the 2 lion populations. The study also reveals that the modern lion is the closest living relative of both the American lion and the cave lion. Initially, it was thought that the lineages leading to the modern lion and the American/cave lions diverged around 1.9 million years ago. However, recent genomic research has pinpointed a more specific timeline. It suggests that the lineage of the cave lion split from that of the modern lion around 392,000 to 529,000 years ago. But if you're thinking the American lion may have also had something to do with the more recently extinct Barbary lion, I hate to break it to you, but you're wrong. However, if you'd like to learn more about that completely separate but equally fierce species of lions, you can check out this video of ours. But I gotta warn you, there's a lot of bombshells waiting for you in it. The American lion's existence was first discovered by paleontologists in the early 1800s when parts of its skull were found in Mississippi. A chap named William Henry Huntington was just rummaging around the ravines when he stumbled upon something, well, kinda creepy if you really think about it. It was a jawbone with a few teeth. But this wasn't just any jawbone. It belonged to what we now know as Panthera Atrox, or the American lion. Being the curious soul he was, Huntington wasted no time and shared his discovery with the esteemed American Philosophical Society. Later, he stowed away this precious find in the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia. But, as is often the case with remarkable discoveries, it took a while for this one to receive its due recognition. It wasn't until 1853 that a certain Joseph Leidy stepped up to the plate and officially christened this partial jawbone as Felis atrox, which translates to savage cat. Leidy even went a step further and named another similar species in 1873. However, it turned out that this other species was merely a synonym for our American lion, Panthera Atrox. Then in 1907, a couple of guys in Alaska stumbled upon a large number of Panthera Atrox skulls, and down in sunny California, in the famed Rancho La Brea, a sizable felid skull was unearthed. The early to mid-1900s saw a flurry of activity in La Brea, with numerous fossils surfacing, offering us a comprehensive glimpse into the world of Panthera Atrox. Initially, it was thought to be a new species within the Felis genus, which includes domestic cats. However, as more specimens were found, it became clear that it was more similar to larger cats. It was then reclassified into the Panthera genus, which includes lions, tigers, jaguars, leopards, and snow leopards. As the decades rolled on, more fossils emerged, stretching the geographical range of Panthera Atrox from the sunny climate of Mexico all the way up to the chilly land of Canada. Then, in 2009, a momentous discovery was made, a place called Natural Trap Cave in Wyoming. It turned out to be a veritable gold mine for Panthera Atrox fossils, ranking as the second most prolific site. And here's the amazing part. Nestled within these fossil remains was well-preserved DNA, providing researchers with an invaluable window into the past and shedding new light on the lives of these ancient beasts. At first, scientists thought the American lion deserved its own spot in the Pantherinae family. They even gave it a fierce name, Panthera Atrox, which basically means terrifying panther in Latin. Some experts were on board with this idea, while others thought it was just a variation of the regular lion we know today, or maybe a close relative of the ancient Eurasian cave lion. But then things got a bit confusing. Instead of being its own species, the American lion got reclassified as a type of lion, specifically a subspecies of the regular lion. However, opinions about its status have gone back and forth over time. When scientists tried to figure out where it fits in the family tree using physical features, it was like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. One study thought the American lion and the cave lion were best buddies with the tiger. They pointed to similarities in their skulls, especially in the part that holds the brain. Another study thought that they were more likely distant relatives of modern leopards and lions. But a recent study took a closer look at the American lion's skull and jaws compared to other big cats. And well, they didn't quite match up with lions. They suggested it might be its own unique thing, separate from lions but related to jaguars. Another study, though, disagreed, and according to it, it's definitely more lion-like, and any similarity it shares with jaguars are just coincidental. Now, if you're wondering who'd win in a one-on-one between Smilodon populator and an American lion, it's likely the American lion would snag the win. And here's why. First off, size matters. Both cats stand about the same height at the shoulder, but the lion is heavier and longer. Then, when it comes to chomping down, the lion takes the cake with a stronger bite. While people often think Smilodon had a monstrous bite, it's actually the lion that reigns supreme in that department. Then there's agility. The lion wins again with its sleek cat-like build and long tail, making it more nimble. Smilodon, with its bear-like body and stubby tail, likely couldn't match the lion's agility at all. And hey, speed? No contest. Smilodon was built for ambush hunting slow-moving prey, while the lion could catch faster game like deer. So yeah, in a fight, the lion's agility and speed give it an edge. But for the sake of being fair, let's not count Smilodon out completely. It had some pretty hefty paws, and its bulky build gave it raw power, though the lion wasn't exactly a lightweight either. Lastly, the lion's missing something: a mane. While modern lions sport that impressive hairdo for protection in fights, the American lion went au naturel, leaving its head and neck more exposed. So yeah, while this can be a close fight, the American lion has the best chance of winning it. What do you think? The exact timing of the American lion's extinction remains uncertain, but the youngest fossils of this giant feline have been dated to around 12,877 years ago. This extinction date coincides with a significant extinction event known as the Quaternary extinction. The late Quaternary megafauna extinction was a massive extinction event that rocked ecosystems worldwide. Climate change and the arrival of modern humans have long been pointed to as the main culprits, but just how much each contributed to the devastation isn't very clear. But what we do know is that many of the large mammal species disappeared from the beginning of the last interglacial around 132,000 years ago up to just 1,000 years ago, and sadly the extinct American lion was one of them. While extinctions are nothing new in Earth's history, the speed and scale of this event were unprecedented in millions of years. In the end, there's only one thing left to say: all cats are runners and killers, but the American lion, the biggest cat of all time, could do it all better. Be it humans, horses, or other megafauna, this cat's teeth could cut the jugular right out of them, and with its massive size and robust bone structure, it was for sure a dominant predator of its time and ruled over every landscape that it inhabited. And that's a wrap. But here's a question for you. If you got lost in an Alaskan national park and got chased by a predator, do you think your chances of surviving would be greater if it was a smilodon or an American lion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy learning about ancient creatures, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more cool stuff about the past.